Hey there. I'll be right with ya. Just setting up the computer. Okay, I think we're set. I think. Let's just get all this stuff done. The hard part, right? All this situating. All right. I think we're okay. All right. Hello, how are you? Johnny Daniel, independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up. I'm here and ready for you. We are making 2 cards tonight, but I have some things to announce first. If you are on with me, please say hello. And I have to say, we're celebrating in this house. Joel just got a phone call from tournament president of the Tournament of Roses Parade to organize a masked pipes and drum 150-piece band for 2024. Hello, how are you? So, I have to say the coconut pie is in the oven to celebrate. Hello? So I have to ask you, when you gotta celebrate, what's your favorite sweet kind of thing? For quick, coconut impossible pie. So, we are celebrating that he is officially accepted in for the Tournament of Roses to organize a band. So, whew. All right. So, if you want to be nosy, I just finished doing the website, pipesonparade.com. So, just FYI. So, hi Pen, how are you? I was just saying we're celebrating over here with the whole Tournament of Roses announcement. So, I was asking you, what's your favorite dessert or way to celebrate? So, the coconut pie is in the oven. So, all right, so what else is going on? Is that enough? No, that's Joel's World. So, let's see. Tara's doing okay. And for tonight, I'm going to tell you some news. I've decided to go back to full photos and showing samples of classes. Why? Because I just think it's the right thing to do. 1. 2, I would want it that way. And 3, I was looking at Scrapbook Expo, I was looking at Michael's, I was looking at Craftsy, I was looking at, I can't remember the 4th one, all classes, and they all showed full photos, and I'm not good at keeping secrets. Ask Joel sometime about the first surprise party that I ever threw him. I was doing really, really good, and I got all the way up to the door where none of his friends had shown up because they were all over an hour late, and I was really mad, and he couldn't understand why, and then I let the cat out of the bag before we went in the door. Had waited all that time. That's all I'm gonna say. So I am not good at a secret keeper. So, without any further ado, here are the samples for the class that will ship starting September 16th. Deadline is the 15th. Invoices go out the 10th, which is Saturday. Oh my gosh. So this is a folded frame card. We're going to do that one. And we're going to do this layer tag with a gift card pocket. So there's one layer. The second layer, there's no stamping. If I could get my fingers, it's hard to do backwards. There's no stamping, but there's photo corners on the bottom, so you could do gift card. And then the top, and then you can write on the back with the ribbon, of course, right? And then this one, this is a mini pocket, but forgive me, it's been in the heat, so a mini pocket envelope slider. So here's this, and it has, there we go, okay? So there's that, and that holds a mini airhead. or other things, but that's what I have. If you want to eat that and do something else, go for it. It's just that simple, and it's not going back together. Can't do it in a hurry. So, and then last but not least, this trifold, like folded, crazy, floating, I can't remember what it's called right at the moment. Anyways, so that is the September gloss. Yay! Now I don't have to keep secrets no more. Woohoo! So, let's see here. Okay, so I am gonna show you what we're making tonight, and then I'm gonna flip you around because we gotta get going. I gotta wait for paint to dry, literally. So this one, this is all of it's the Vellum Overlays. This one though starts with a white piece underneath, and we gotta paint this. So with the smoosh technique, not smooch, but smoosh. So, and then this one, fairly simple, but this is also doing some scoring to bring some texture to that foil. So there you go. All right, so we got some cutting and we got some stuff to get done, huh? So, club, I will get to once I flip around and we will get to going. So hold on just a sec. If I can remember how to do all this. It's always so much fun. This is the hard part. I wish I had like a tech, right? So close, yet so far, right? All right, hold on. Bear with me, you guys. Why is this loose? Okay, I think I'm just gonna have to adjust. Because I don't think I've fully lined up everything how I was supposed to. All right, let's see. Is it even? Fairly. Okay, I think we're ready to go. I think. Oh, the legs are showing. You know what? It's just gonna be tonight. Okay. Can everybody see okay? All right, so instead of writing the host code, I figured I'd do the flyer for you. And the flyer, if you look right here, has the host code. Oh, shoot. Hold on. Let's see if we can get it correct. There we go. I think. My gosh, me and technology, I swear. Hey, Iris, how are ya? So, there's your host code if you want to order. Here are the bonuses. Most of you have already played with the amber gems and the leaves. Tonight we're going to do the memento, and tonight we're going to look at the overlay. So there you go. Okay. Pretty cool, huh? So for this, the materials, if you order them, it's $10, and you get the envelope. You get it all in a pretty little bag, and you're going to get pieces and parts. Here's the thing though. This one, I didn't know if you had that exact flower. This is Speedy Recovery set. So I figured I'm going to do the punch, and I'm going to give you a piece to stamp some kind of flower and cut it out. Okay, so that's the why. And then next, this is all pretty straightforward. You get a window sheet to do the smoosh technique, and then you have your gems. The label's going to be all pre-punched, ready to go for you. So, okay. So those are the two cards, mailed $10. Okay. Let me know by Saturday. You can pay online at stampingwithjohnny.com under Facebook Live Materials. And it doesn't look like much, but honestly, I have how many different pieces of cardstock? Oh my gosh. 7, I think. So 7, and then the gems. So we're looking at 8 to 10 things that you'll get. All right, so I wanted to go over, this is a Speedy Recovery set. I don't know if you guys have actually seen this in the catalog. I've skipped over it several times. So I'm here for you, sending well wishes your way, wishing you a speedy recovery, Why am I looking at this? Because fall is coming and flu season is coming back around. And I don't know about you, but I'm out of sympathy cards and I'm out of get well. So I just felt it might be appropriate, okay? I've been selling and sending a lot of get well and that kind of stuff. So, so the Vellum Overlays, the 12 by 12 paper is the layering designs. I forgot to put the page number, so forgive me on that. It is in the annual catalog. And I'm just gonna go over real quick. You know what? I should lift from here. Okay. So the brown is my hand underneath. So we've got a black script. And then we have this map looking one. See my hand underneath? Okay. So that. And then we've got, this is going to be harder to see because it's white. Let me see. Hold on. Let me see what I can grab that's darker. Does that help? No, not really. Okay. This is the white and it's like a type. Let's see. Do I have it in black here? I do. 1 second. See? Here we go. There you go. Kind of like newsprint. So there's that. Black and white. And then we have the white version of the maps and the white version of the script. So there's that set. Now the other one is Lovely Layers 3 3/4 by 5. So they're already set up for small mats. That's amazing, right? Don't have to cut, don't have to deal at all, right? So we've got our little polka dots here. We've got our, hold on, let me do this. We've got our kind of landscape looking thing. We've got our little sphere circle thing. We've got a whole bunch of blanks, which that's cool too. And then we have our plant, what I call our plant looking one. And that's this guy here. This is a brand new pack. So, so there you go on that. I tend to gravitate towards the plant looking one and this sphere thing. And I don't know about the landscape yet. I'm gonna figure that one out. And I do like this one. So I call it my partial stargaze. So I don't know, but all right. So that's the paper. So now we should get going on creating, right? So, all right, so now what I'm gonna do is we gotta do the smoosh technique first so the paper dries because we gotta come back to it. So I'm just gonna move things around. I've got the decorative dots. I've got some of it's pre-cut, some of it's not, you know how this goes. So we've got card base. There's my pie. Hopefully Joel's getting it. I've got my mat that needs to be cut. I've got my white and I've got my overlay. Yes, white. Believe it or not, this starts as white behind this, okay? But we gotta get going because if we don't, it's not gonna dry. So, okay. So we're gonna grab here, and I had a paper towel. Oh, for heaven's sakes, get the pie. Oh, hopefully he doesn't forget. It'll be the last thing we do, right? So, all right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna put our window sheet down. Now, I have Starry Sky, I have Tahitian Tide, and I have Parakeet Party for my refills. That's what I have out, okay? So, let's see here. You know what? This is bugging me that I am like lopsided and crooked and all that. Give me 2 seconds. Let's see if I could get this lined up a little better. Is that better for you? Give me a thumbs up if that's better for you. I'm sorry about the wonkies, but it was really bugging me that it was crooked sideways and all that. So, are we good? Is that any better? I hope so, for y'all's sake. I just hope so. I try to do the best I can, and some days it's just not that great. So, all right, so I have my paper towel. This is gonna be next to me. I have my silicone mat. I have my piece of window sheet. If you're gonna do your window sheet, just make sure it's bigger than your piece of white. If you don't care if your entire white is covered, then it don't matter. So, thank you, Pen. I appreciate the comment. All right, so I'm going to start with the darkest. You can start with whatever. I'm going to just do a couple drops. So for this, you're going to do a couple drops of each. Yeah, do one down here. Okay. Yeah, maybe one down here. Okay. You're going to do a couple drops of each, and then you're going to grab your spritzer and make it almost run together. This is Parakeet Party, if you're wondering. I'm dripping too fast. So you want to just not really have your drips all that close together. Oops, I did too. That's okay. And then we're going to do Tahitian Tide. Now, I'm only going to do one sheet tonight, but this could go for a couple. Okay, it just depends on how much ink and how much water you use and all that kind of stuff. I want my ink to be almost completely at the edge, to the edge. So I'm going to make sure that I get it all pretty covered. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I'm grabbing my spritzer. This is supposed to be just water, but I didn't put bleach in it to clean out from hides. So it's just what it is, and it's okay. So it's fairly clear. So now we're just gonna spritz, spritz, spritz. And I'm getting this everywhere. And you're gonna spritz until it runs together kinda how you want it to, okay? And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna throw this guy on top. I might have to get another grid. We'll see. I'm gonna throw this guy on top. Try to not slide it and just drop it. See how it's curling up on me? That's okay. That means it's wet. That's all that means. Okay. Yes, my fingers got inky. It is okay. Okay, so now comes the fun part. Ready? Lift, 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 lift. Do I like it? Yes. And stick it on my paper towel and get most of it off, kind of, sort of. Let's see how wet this is. Hold on. All right. I'm going to get another one. Hold on just a second. Okay. Sorry about that. Had to get a new one. Had to. All right, how'd I line up? Are we okay? I think so. All right. So we're gonna let this one dry really good. That looks pretty good. So we're gonna let this dry and we're gonna come back to this card completely. Okay, so this is what I'm doing, and I'm pushing it just right up top here and not on top of anything. And we'll come back to this in about 5 minutes and should be good to go. How do you know it's good? When your paper's completely back flat and not warped at all. So then you know, okay? All right, so these cards tonight, I thought of Serena because she doesn't like to do dies. So guess what? All of the cards tonight are punches or just cut out. So, okay? All right, so for tonight, the first card, since we already did the prep for the second one, is going to be this one here, okay? So this one, our card base is out of thick, basic white cardstock. This is cut at 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. And hopefully I don't have ink that'll transfer, but if it does, right? So there's our card base. Okay. Then I gotta find my paper trimmer. Okay. Then what we're gonna do is I've got a piece of basic black. It normally comes in 8.5 by 11, but I had already pre-cut for others, so we're just gonna do a half sheet and it'll be okay. So we've got the outer mat is 4 by 5.25. Okay. All right, and then the silver piece, the lighter silver piece, I should say, is 3 3/4 by 5. If you don't want all your fingerprints on this, turn it over. You won't get your fingerprints. They'll be on the back instead, right? So there you go. Okay, if you want to cut out the middle or do some punches or something, you are more than welcome to. Okay, why? Because you don't want to waste it. I mean, hello, it's foil paper, right? So there you go. All right, so then we've got our map looking paper, and we went 3 3/4, we went 3.5, so this one is going to be at 3 1/4, which is exactly 1 inch in from a card base. I know, so much math, right? But if it's exactly 1 inch in from a card base, that means 5.5 goes to 4.5. And that should, in theory, match all perfect. Close enough for me. Okay, so there's that. Then we're gonna grab, ooh, that's too little of a piece. Let me grab the other piece of black. Okay, then we are gonna grab this other piece of black, and if I remember right, they were goofy sizes, like 4 5/8 or something like that. So let me just do a quick measure. I know, right? Me? So we're looking at 2.5 by 3 5/8. That was the 3 5/8. Okay, so we're looking at 2.5. It's not our normal size, so I'm sorry I couldn't remember. 3 5/8. Okay, so there's our outer mat. Now we got to do the inner silver one. So the inner silver one is 1/4 inch in from this. 2 1/4, 2 1/4 by 3.5, 2 1/4. I know all these measurements we got to remember. By 3.5, might be 3 3/8. We'll see how this lines up. Okay. Yeah. And we're gonna do 3 3/8 instead. So just a little snippet off and we'll be fine. Okay, now with this, I took this and I flipped it over and I was like, oh, this is 2 1/4. So I just kind of moved this to 3/4 and scored on the back side so it pops up, okay? And then I moved to 1/2 inch, okay? And that's gives it some texture, right? So it's really up to you on what increments you want to do. You can do them closer together. You can not measure. You can measure. Like I said, up to you. Completely up to you. So there's my, and like I said, the sample had 3 on it. So it's just, you know, what it is, right? So, let's see here. So we've got that. So that's done. That's done. That's done. Okay, now I gotta do some trimming. Now, here's the fun part. I grabbed this punch. I'm gonna show you a new technique tonight. I grabbed this punch and I measured and I went, oh, it's about 1.5 inches. So if I go 2 clicks down, like 1 3/8 width, we're good. So we're gonna go inch and like just under 1/2. Okay, so there's that. So here's how we get, I don't know if you can see the edges here. Can you see them? How they're both punched on this side and that side? So here's how we do this. You're gonna laugh. All right, so we stick it down in here, not all the way through, and you punch, okay? And you watch where they go flying. And then, I did this a little wider than the other one. And then, stick it on the other side and punch. Just that simple. And if you've done too wide like I have, I'm just gonna clip those ends off. Because we gotta be able to fix our mistakes, right? I mean, that's what handmade's all about, is opportunities to create, right? So there's our spots. If it's too long, we can cut some out of the middle, fake it, and it'll be fine, okay? So there's that. And then, let's see here. What else do we got? We got to do a punch for our words in the traditional sense, right? And then we should be good. I gotta get rid of my squeaky chair. It's kind of driving me insane. But, oh well. Do you guys hear it? I hear it all the time. But anyways, moving on. So, we're going to grab our card base. I'm going to flatten it back out. Why do I do that? Because when I'm gluing stuff down, if you have it like this and it's teeter-tottering on you, it's not going to be straight. It's going to be harder to make it straight, I should say. If you flatten it back out, it's much easier to glue when it's flatter than when it's flying around in the wind, okay? If that makes sense to you. So now I'm going to try to line this up and get things running. Okay, we're gonna grab and we're gonna do a little bit extra because this foil, I don't know, for some reason it always tends to curl on me. So I just always do a little bit extra on this. And we're gonna, now, I don't want fingerprints, so we're gonna come from the back side, okay? Got it? Okay, so now we've got that. Now, here's the fun part. This is vellum, means you can see the glue, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually going to put these pieces together, stick it on here, and then stick it. You'll see why in a sec. So I'm going to run my glue, throw it on my mat. Okay, now I am grabbing my glue dots because vellum, it's kind of like foil. It doesn't really like to stick with the Stampin' Seal. So you want to make sure to grab your glue dots. Okay, so I'm grabbing my 4 and I'll probably put one in the middle just for a little bit of safekeeping, right? So now what we're gonna do, ouch, is we're gonna go cattywampus, okay? But hey, guess what? Now you have a safe place to put glue down, right? So there we go. And because it's foil and vellum, we're definitely doing glue dots. Now try to pay attention to where your other ones are so you don't have like tons of stuff popping up, because then it has a tendency to peel off a little quicker. So, because you've got the layer a little higher, so you just want to make sure, unless you want it that piled on kind of look, but you want to make sure that it's just a single layer. I'm about ready for summer to quit. I don't know about y'all, but my glue dots are like gummy. So, all right, so we're gonna lay this on here. You are gonna pay attention and not go too crooked. Why? Because if you go too crooked, it's gonna, you know, stick out off your base, right? So now I'm gonna do my words. And let's see, wishing you a speedy recovery. And we're gonna use our memento, which is part of that club border bonus, right? So we're gonna use our memento. Now, if you already have the memento, part of club bonuses, you can pick, instead of the pad, you can pick a refill. I go through refills like crazy on this. It just drinks it for some reason. And I think I'm about ready to need to do that again. Yeah, looks like it. But it is just a little bit constant with that black. But it's okay. We want a good image, right? So, all right, so we've got that going. Where'd my lid go? Here we go. Okay. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab here and I'm gonna throw this across here. Oh, that's too wide for me. Okay, so we're gonna do that and we're gonna grab a scrap piece of white. We're gonna grab our flowers. If you want tissue box, if you want Kleenex, if you want teacup, you know, whatever you want, right? But I'm just gonna do the flowers real quick. Actually, you know what? Let's do the tissue box. All right, hold on. Let me close something out so I can see what you guys are talking about. All right, so, okay, so let's grab the tissue box instead. How does this fit back in here? Yeah, okay. So we're gonna grab our tissue box instead. Ink it up pretty good. Hopefully it'll work. Yeah, we'll see, huh? There are no dies for this, so whatever you're stamping is whatever you're cutting. Okay, not bad. We're good. I didn't know if that image was gonna come out very well, since my ink is not like pristine. So, all right. So now what I'm gonna do, I am grabbing my snips and I am just leaving a little white space. It's great because I had a tiny bit of a halo right there and I'm like, oh no, that'll be cut off, so we're good. All right. Okay. So we've got that. Let me get back to here. Okay. And okay, done. Yay. So now I can figure out how this is gonna fit, right? So I'm gonna trim this here because I know the words are gonna go on that side. So I'm gonna trim that there. So this is gonna go and hang out a little bit. I want it to hang out just on that silver, okay? So now I've got here, and then I've got this, but I definitely need to trim that, right? So we're gonna trim off some. And this is the fun part, we get to play, right? So, all right, so now I'm gonna grab my seal. I'm gonna put a couple swipes down. I'm gonna add this here, okay? Now I'm gonna add this here, but I'm gonna dry fit because I wanna make sure everything works. So we're gonna put this here and we're gonna put this here. And then this is gonna go like right here. So that works out perfect. So I've got just until before the R. So I've got one swipe of glue that I can do. So we're gonna do it a couple times in the same spot. And let's see here. Do this like this, do this like this. Okay. Now we're gonna glue this to here. Ooh, I did it a little short. It's Good thing I could take it off and kind of make it a little bit longer, huh? All right. Fixing it, fixing it, fixing it. Okay. Okay. So we've got that there. Perfect. More glue dots because it's on foil. So there's one. There's two. Here's three. And here's four. Okay. So this is gonna go right there. Okay. And then this is just gonna go just like that, but I think I'm gonna pop mine up. So we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 2, and 3. And this, nah, we're just gonna go straight up and down. Okay, so there is the first card. What do y'all think? Which do you like better? I think they're about the same, but totally different all at the same breath. You are welcome. So, yeah. Always entertaining now, aren't we? So, and hopefully that second one, will be okay and dry by now. At least enough, right? Okay, so that second one, let me pull. Sorry if my head's in the way. I gotta get it though. Okay, so everything's already trimmed down. This is 5 by 3 3/4, and the outer mat is 5 1/4 by 4. So we've got that going on. Okay, this still needs to be trimmed though. So 5 1/4 by 4. Okay. So that's that one. You like the Kleenex? I have another cute idea with that. We'll see if I get it made. But do you remember the pop-ups inside that had the like ledge kind of pop-up? That, I'm thinking with the Kleenex box and a little piece of it coming out of it. That's what I'm thinking of. So, don't know. All right. Let's see, is this, oh my gosh, it's still super, super wet. All right, let's do other stuff. So we're also grabbing our, is this lovely label? Lovely punch? I can't remember. Anyways, so I've cut a scrap piece of basic white just under 1 inch wide. Okay, so I'm gonna stick this in here, and we're gonna stick this and make sure it's straight. Because I don't know about you, that's probably one of my hardest things with this punch is getting it halfway straight. I do not know why, but it has always been the issue and probably always will be the issue for me. And I don't know why it always is such a crazy thing for me. I just really don't know why, but it is. So, all right. So now we've cleaned this. Gonna peel this off the block, put it back. Okay, and now I think sending well wishes your way. I don't know if I want to be here for you if you're sick. I'm just teasing. I drop off food on your doorstep though, definitely. But we'll send well wishes your way. Okay, so there's that. I need more cleaner. Okay. So probably a better thing, rather than laying it on your table unless you're going to leave it overnight, you might even want to do like a cooling rack for cookie sheets so air can come up from underneath. You can also do the low setting on the heat tool, but it just takes a while. It really, really does. So, Okay. So there's that. Let's see here. I know some of y'all think that I'm crazy because I can do this with my fingers, but it's just what I do. I don't know. I think some of y'all are crazy because you can do it with a tool instead. So that's my pieces and parts. And I think we're just going to have to go with what's wet. Because it's just what it is, right? So, alright. So, this is still damp, but we're going with it. And I'm going to throw a bunch down here. We're going to stick this on here. And I'm probably going to get inky because of it, but that is okay. I am grabbing my paper towel. We're going to flip this around and hope and pray it sticks because it's still a little bit damp. But if not, we'll come back with glue dots and you'll at least get the idea, right? And then this, you got to kind of pick which side. So believe it or not, there's sides to this. It's printed on one side. So one side is a much brighter black. I'm trying to find the word for it. And the other side is much more muted. So depending on which way you want it is where you put it, right? I think I'm going to do it with the brighter side up. So what I'm going to do is grab my glue dots and I'm going to put them where the pieces are so it'll hide where my glue dots are. Let's see here. So we're going to put this one. Also, because of all the coloring, it's going to help as well. So have you guys ever done this smoosh technique before, where you grab a window sheet and drop it on there? I'm just curious if you have or not. It also works with watercolor paper, but it's a different look to it because it doesn't go all over, it soaks more in. The shimmery white, it also works on. So you just really got to look at what works and what doesn't for you, depending on what kind of look you want. So let's see here. There's a big spot there. I think I'm okay. We'll find out though, huh? So we grab here and we get as close to the corners as we can and hope and pray for the best, right? So we're gonna stick down and hope and pray that we remember where we put all our glue dots. I don't like that that's coming up. So we kind of play with it a little bit. We're gonna put one right on the end there. Okay, and this is also because it's wet still, as you can tell, but you're gonna let yours completely dry, right? Promise me. See, mine's like peeling up. It's okay though. Not really. We'll just do another glue dot and hope and pray it works. But yeah, you're gonna want to let yours completely dry. Okay, so there's that. Okay, then we're gonna grab our dimensionals because by this time I'm tired of glue dots. And we're gonna put 2 here. And we're gonna stick this right here. Okay? And you're not gonna pay attention to the stuff that's peeling up because it's still wet. And when it completely dries, what I will do is come back and make sure everything's glued down, but there's not much I can do if it's still wet. I'm sorry I tried to hurry for TV. So, whatever. There you go. All right. So those are the cards for tonight. Now you know that if you hurry it, it doesn't work well. So, gotta love it. All right, for the tutorial and to rewatch the funny video, follow me on my blog, stampingwithjohnny.com. Have a great evening and make sure to let your paper dry. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.